It's a Pagani.
This
saved the best fight for last, I think.
And it's driven.
Got a Ferrari in the back.
LaFerrari,
Head of P1 on the wrong side of the car. So
yeah, nice side too.
It's just standing back. It's quite bright.
The Ferrari at the bottom there. I want that.
It does look good.
You really have to look at the inside. When this car is parked, all these supercars at this show are going to be parked just over there in the field, and you have to look at the inside. Now there you can see the glistening instruments because Horacio Pagani just loves the detail he does in these cars. He's such a car enthusiast. He builds them individually, changes them, tweaks them, and makes these amazing interiors. And the engine in the back of this is now what?
This is 6 litre V12 twin turbo.
This is still the Mercedes power plant that was in the Zonda. It's actually an engine Mercedes don't use at all. It's actually specially made for Pagani, am I right?
That's correct. It's designed and engineered by Pagani and built in conjunction with AMG.
So how many actually you're with the company, you pronounce the flipping thing.
It's a Wyra.
Oh, it's a Wyra.
I was close.
Yeah, it miles away. So how many Wyras are going to be made?
So it's 100, limited run at 100.
When will that production end?
Early parts of next year. So we're number 86 at the moment, and we're completely sold out. So
we all know Pagani's tricks. There'll be a Wyra R, and then a Wyra RR, and then a Wyra RR Carbon RO, Wyra RR. There'll be 100 more Wyras. Anyway, is it noisy? No, a little bit. It's a little bit. Let's say a little bit. Yeah, smooth.
That wasn't quite the noise I was expecting.
It's a turbocharged world. It's killing noise. We love noise. Smooth V12
it's a very
with
smooth
a decibel rating of
107.
Wire off.
But it's certainly.
Wyra. There you go. Wyra. Wyra. Now, I'm embarrassed to say, because we were off air on 50, although we're still back on the History Channel in July, 6 more shows coming new. We're not cancelled like some car shows. We hope that History Channel, and actually you'll repeat on ITV4 in September, October, if you haven't got the satellite stuff that's going on. But I never drove these last 3 cars, which was my biggest frustration. We weren't filming at the time when all the press launches happened. And unfortunately, these supercars, or hypercars they're called, you don't get much chance. And first up the ramp is what?
This is the Koenigsegg 1-to-1. So called, believe it or not, because it has 1,000 horsepower per tonne.
And look at those doors.
Mega.
It's not a... Yeah, it is 1,000 horsepower per tonne. But more than that, if you put methanol in it or something, it's got the same horsepower as its weight. So it is 1,000 horsepower.
So that makes it 1,000 horsepower.
So it weighs 1,360 kilograms, and if you put it with methanol and turn the wick up, it's got 1,360 horsepower. So that is why it's called the 1-to-1. And when you see this car up close, you must have looked at it. I thought it was all black. But it's not, it's blue and black.
And it's not until you get really close that you can see the carbon weave and the contrast with the carbon grills, the spoiler and the body itself. It looks glorious. As Tiff says, definitely go and get a chance to look at it when it's parked up over there.
Which side's he driving? No, we'll go in the other one. Of course, Koenigsegg, the Swedish nutcase, Mr. Koenigsegg, who's been making these amazing machines for about 10 years or more now. When do you think the first Koenigsegg came out?
It was quite a while, I'd guess 10 years. It had the exact same doors on that very first model as well. I wonder if you noticed that. I don't, so don't ask me this. The name of the doors.
What?
The doors, they have a turn. The way they open. They're not scissor doors, they're not gold wings, they are.
I don't know.
Ask me.
Oh, Mike, what are your doors called?
I haven't got a clue. Don't ask me.
That's a weird name for a door. I haven't got a clue door.
He's going to make me Google that one as well.
Mind you, the Doors was the best band ever in the history of music. You've got to admit. I mean, come on, let me back with fire. You know, the Doors just made it. Why have you got me talking about Doors? We've got to talk about Koenigsegg 1-to-1. Mike, how many of these are in England?
Just the one. So there's one here, one in Monaco, and 4 in China. So just the one. This is the only right-hand drive one.
What on earth made you think this would be a good idea to buy something with 1,360 horsepower?
I think, well, I was roped into it by Supercar cars. They wanted to know if anyone was crazy enough to buy a car like this, and unfortunately I got the phone call.
What have you had before this?
So I've got Ferraris, I've got a 458 here, a 16M and a 599 Alonso.
So a few Ferraris and a Koenigsegg 1-to-1. So when you wake up on a Sunday morning, how do you decide which you're going to drive?
Well, I bring my friends, so we brought them all today.
Right, I'm your new friend. Anyone else want to join his friends club? We're going to got a few more people want to be your friends. You're very popular all of a sudden. Find out what your doors are called, will you, for next time you come back in a year's time? And now, can you give it some noise?
Oh, hang on. Go for it. 124 decibels.
124. That's probably second place. I keep on looking. It's all very close.
They're all very similar around there, aren't they?
Mike, thank you very much for bringing this very, very, very rare car here to Lord Pembroke's garden party.
Yeah, I
You
just
don't
said that
see all these
yesterday.
cars anywhere else. The collection Lord Pembroke gets because of the connections he has and the fact that everyone wants to come here to this fabulous classic and supercar event. My 1, so you see this registration number, by the way, it's my 121.
Now, Tiff, what's up next? We have 3 cars left.
Now we come to the big. Koenigsegg is very limited, small production, little tiny bit like Ferraris. But our last 3 cars are very much more in mass production, if you can dare use that word for hypercars. And first up is
This is the Porsche 980.
which, if you say 918, you get the trouble. Porsche are a bit fake.
It's a 911, so it's a 918.
But the 917 was the best Porsche at Le Mans. I call that a 917.
And I call the 956 as well. It's, yeah.
Who's
Porsche
told
is
you it has to be a
918.
918?
Now, I don't know if you can hear.
I can't hear anything. How's it going to
I
hear?
don't know if it's my hearing from earlier, or this is in electric mode. So this. and the next
Welcome
two
to the world of modern Formula One. Hybrid power.
It's a hybrid.
Oh,
we
for
have no
goodness
noises
sake.
coming up on the stage at all.
In fact, the electric engine is
That's
actually at the
gonna be
moment coming up the stage in front-wheel drive because the electric engines run the front wheels and the petrol engine runs the rear wheels. So how much is the total horsepower? I've got it written down here somewhere. 4.6 litre turbo V8, 890 horsepower when you add the 2 bits together. Electric power at the front, petrol power at the rear, and a left-hand drive. Can I make these right-hand drive, do you know?
They're all left-hand drive, these ones.
Well, this is probably going straight to Le Mans. Let's hear some petrol engine then. Let's have some noise from the petrol side.
There's a lot of buttons to
This is
push
like
now.
talking Lewis Hamilton, the grid then, gauge button 1.
Oh, there we
button
go.
2.
Now, I don't know if you can see.
Oh, it's a nice. That's funny, isn't it? It's hard in
There
Where's
you
the
can see-
exhaust button?
Look, exactly, look where I've had to hold it. The exhausts are coming just out from behind the roof there. You can see the engine there just behind the seats. That's nothing back there. I think there's a lot
Exhaust
of batteries
buttons
going.
are up here
Yeah.
somewhere, if you can see them.
Well,
What a fabulous
we've got a
machine,
figure.
but very little decibels.
Very little indeed. 111. Not the noisiest, I mean, certainly it was the quietest coming up.
Are you sure that's not 111?
111.
Or is it 111? Can you say 111?
Porsche
Ladies and
told me to say
gentlemen,
111.
the Porsche 918
Thank you so much.
hypercar. New word now. There's some hypercars because they're so outperforming the supercars that we're used to. And next, Tony, it's red, so it has to be.
It's a Ferrari. Look at it. This is the Ferrari LaFerrari.
They always loved that because the Enzo Ferrari was the Ferrari Enzo Ferrari.
Absolutely right.
This is the Ferrari LaFerrari.
Apparently it's the Italian equivalent of saying
The Ferrari. Spoilers catching the carpet.
That was very nice.
He's worried about it.
That's perfect.
I love
And
this.
they just park there and just go look at them there.
This is just stunning. I've just noticed. I've never noticed this before. Those wing mirrors, they are. One looks longer than the other one. Am I going crazy? It's ridiculous.
You've got me wondering now.
Mirrors out on pods. Was it just the way you look at the car?
And you had to go at me about talking about
I don't
doors.
know why I'm worried about wing mirrors. On a Friday, Murray Walker once said, "Hey, Max who can see Prost in his headphones." But what he meant was Max who can see Prost in his wing mirrors, which are quite close to your head. Therefore, Murray Walker thought it was a simple mistake to make. But to me, this is just dropped up. And the Porsche was sort of subtle and smooth. But when you just stand walking around this and just tongue hangs out.
Free.
It's just gorgeous.
It's nice from back here
Do
as
I
well.
have to speak to the bloke driving? 'Cause I'm a bit
Should we just
jealous.
look at it for a couple of minutes and
Just ignore him. Gorgeous. Oh, but this is all rear wheeled. Another hybrid, but this one can't go on electric motors only.
correct? This one has to use the engine at all times.
And it's got a total of 950 horsepower. 6-litre V12, but do you know how all the electric bits work, Richard? Don't really like you very much, but I'll talk to you briefly.
Basically, yeah, it's electric along with the power, so you can't separate the two. It's about 160 on the electric and just under 800 on the V12.
Now you got that little switch, the famous Manatino switch, which goes from scared driver to I'll be a bit braver today, and then I'll turn it all off. How often have you turned that little thing round to red and turned all your traction control off?
I haven't yet. It's in sport at the moment. I've done 300 miles, so get a bit used to it. And 300 miles.
The car you had before this?
I've got an Enzo as well, a black one.
Got it right off him now.
You lose your friends quick.
I don't like black Enzos, by the way. Crap, with one of those. I wouldn't want one of those. Keep it, you can keep your Enzo. But it is just a guy. You must sort of, do you clean and polish it every day?
Yes, basically.
I mean, it's the sort of car, so if I like a car, the proof that I love a car or not love a car is whether or not I'm going to get the black out and actually... You imagine want to wash this, wouldn't you? You want to get it out even if it was totally clean and wash it again.
You could look at this all day, couldn't you? About quite enjoying it, just being here.
Anyway, let's have some Ferrari revs. How many revs is the max? 9. We'll put it in the red. Don't muck about. Oh,
That made me jump.
I don't care about the decibel. That wins the best sound award.
For the noise, most definitely.
Thank you very much. But the actual number was
122.
22. A lot of low 122, 120. Thank you very much, Richard Guy.
Oh, just look at it, Tiff. Look at that. Active aerodynamic devices at the back of that, believe it or not. It means they move.
But
One more
last but by no means least, a car with, you mentioned active aerodynamics, LaFerrari, some subtle little flaps. This is the machine. This is like the future come very early with all sorts of aerodynamic appendages that come up and flap and move. The whole car sits down. It is, of course, the McLaren P1. This again, another McLaren car, owned by McLaren, driven by its project director, Paul Koenigsegg. 3.8-litre turbo. Now, he was supposed to come up in electric mode, wasn't he?
It wasn't. It was meant to be quiet. I guess that can happen.
Paul, we were thinking you were going to come. Did you run out of power? Were you shaving in the mirror and you used your electric power?
Got to run an electric mode. I'm sorry about that. Shall I put it in race mode for you though? So the wind goes up and it goes down.
Of course, we expected you to have race mode. Get this wing up. Let's get your little cameras going. Watch the rear end as the wing comes up. Is your car going to lower down as well? We're going to do the whole thing, the full pantomime.
You'll see this is going to lower by 50 millimetres. If you watch the front wheels, you can really see it.
Up comes the wing, down goes the whole chassis. It's an outrageous machine with so much grip. So have you managed to get out on track? All the journalists, I missed the press launch, never went out to drive it like everybody else at Dubai, and everyone was just raving about the handling and the drivability. That's what I think, you know, has really come on strong. You've got nearly 1,000 horsepower, but almost anyone can power slide it and smoke the tyres. Have you had a go yourself?
Yeah, I'm very lucky. I've been able to drive it on a lot of tracks. And of course, we're now developing the P1 GTR, which you can see over to the right, which is really the track car. A P1 slicks with lots of downforce and even more power. Great fun.
I never know. Sometimes I think I don't really want the most advanced one. I think this is just, you know, I love the basic. You know, even the Porsche 911, I'd just have the basic 911 manual driving car, whereas the GT3's got scaffolding tubes in the back and, you know, great big wing. I mean, this has got the great big wing, but it doesn't have it all the time. You've chosen a sort of, you know, subtler, conservative colour for this one, McLaren's own car.
Yeah, this is petrol green.
No, it's not. You see, now there you are. You see, I mentioned the BMW man doesn't talk bollocks. He says his car was black, and now what? How many people can see petrol green in that car? What?
It is petrol green in this.
Right, let's have a vote. Hands up. Who thinks this car is green?